Vos compares the calling of Zacchaeus to the original words of creation, the fiat fulfillment movement, let there be light. And no sooner is the call uttered from the voice of God himself than that which he elicits is realized. Let there be light, and there was light. And Zacchaeus, when he is called, no sooner is he called than Vos lays great emphasis on this, then there is, through the words of Jesus, an immediate supernatural act of Christ by the Spirit summoning Zacchaeus to himself, if we use the language of 1 Corinthians 1:9, into the fellowship of the Son of God, so that he is summoned from the tree to the Savior and has him and receives him personally and then joyfully into his house. And when you put it in the broader context of what Danny has so helpfully sketched for us already, there is nothing accidental. Everything is intentional. From before the foundation of the world, Jesus has been coming to seek and save the lost. And here, in that moment of calling, all of the omnipotent supernaturalism that attends his person is put on grand display when he does what no other could do: summon one dead into life, summon one alienated from God into fellowship with God, and in so doing, bring to fruition his all-encompassing purpose to seek and save that which in itself is hopelessly lost, apart from such a sovereign saving summons to new life and fellowship with God, back into the orbit, as it were, of a God-centered, God-oriented life of communion with the living and true God. Stunning.
Yeah, Paul says that the lost require a savior, and that one who will seek them out. And he basically, and he doesn't basically say, he does says this directly, that if you are refusing to be bound by that if you refuse to see yourself as lost in sin and in need of a savior, you are outside of the bounds of consistent Christianity. He says that in the proclamation in the sermon. And so I think that gets to again the heart of what we really embrace biblically, and what I know the three of us in our vows as Orthodox Presbyterian ministers we have vowed to maintain is in anthropology. We believe that we're dead in trespasses and sins apart from the regenerating work of Christ through the Word and the Spirit, and that we cannot save ourselves, that salvation is totally 100% outside of us, and that we must look to Christ to do that. And again, what had happened in liberalism, it had become a Pelagian gospel of uplift, in which you do a part, God does a part, and then you live in a manner that is going to help the world get better. And Vos is saying hogwash. The Bible is teaching that not only is salvation totally the work of God, but it's unto the end of glorifying God. And so what we see in Jesus is not only the Savior who saved us, but we see the servant who fully set his will upon doing the will of his Father in heaven. And that's what we're called to. And that's what was being lost in the social gospel movement at the turn of the century. And Vos is fighting that with all of his heart, because you don't have good news you don't have good news where liberalism is taking you. In other words, to simply look at this sermon, this is what I love about this sermon. It works at so many levels. Mm-hmm. He is saying that where Jesus is where salvation is. And apart from him, there is no salvation. It gets as simple as that.
Yeah.
But that means that when he's saying that, he's saying it because he believes that Jesus is the only mediator between God and man. He's not just a teacher. He's not a moralist, a philanthropist. He's not a philosopher. He is God come in the flesh. And that's why his own commentary upon this matters.